Am I the a-hole for not letting my cousin bring their newborn baby to my wedding? I, 26 female, got married about 6 months ago. It was amazing and everything I dreamed of as a little girl. Even before I was engaged or planning a wedding, I knew I did not want children under the age of 10 at my wedding unless my partner had kids that needed to be included. They did not. To give a bit of background, my parents are younger siblings of 6 children each, so my family is quite big and my cousins are all older than me. When planning my wedding, I was told by the catering company I hired that even if they are less than a year old, if they even eat one bit of food, they will charge them $65 per plate. Weddings are expensive. This requirement, though, was going to help me back my claim of not letting kids younger than 10 come, or so I thought. We sent out the save the dates, and all my cousins called telling me how excited they were and everything seemed okay because they seemed fine with the no children rule. This lasted until the invitations were sent out. To avoid anyone being confused on who were allowed to RSVP, my mom and I pre-filled out the numbers of each guest attending for each party. As those who know, you need to have your final numbers in order for everything at least a month in advance, so we are required all RSVPs are sent back a month before the wedding. The time came to tally up the numbers, and my cousin, 34 male, and his wife, 32 female, have yet to respond, so I reach out. Nothing. Wait a week and reach out again. Nothing. Now to put some background on us, I talk to this pair almost weekly. They were the siblings I never had. This ghosting was weird, so I go over to their place to see if they could talk in person. I get there and see both cars are home, so I knock on the door to avoid waking the baby. My cousin's wife swings open the door already with an angry look. I ask to come in. No. I ask if we could talk. No. Finally, my cousin appears and his wife runs off crying. I asked why they hadn't RSVP'd back and what's going on. He tells me I'm a jerk and an a-hole for not allowing them to bring their kid, and they hope my wedding goes terribly. He then closes the door, leaving me shocked. To give more background, the birth and conception of the kid was rough, so this baby's a miracle. I love this kid. I just don't want it at my wedding. The day before the wedding, my aunt calls demanding why I won't invite my cousins and why her daughter-in-law won't come out of the house. This causes half of my mom's family to not show up. The wedding still happened and it was awesome. My mom's side of the family still refuses to talk to us and are requesting I apologize to my cousin and his wife for not inviting them and their baby to my wedding. I really love them and I never meant to make them feel this way, but this is how I wanted my wedding. So am I the a-hole if I stand my ground and do not apologize? Edit. Was just informed a 9-month-old isn't a newborn, just a baby. So it's a baby. Okay, yeah, it's a baby. I am so sorry to new parents or like parents that go through difficult, circumstances to get their baby into their arms. Like, that's heartbreaking, and I truly hope that things get better for you. However, you can't be upset when people just don't want a baby at a wedding. There are people drinking, there's loud music, there's a lot of stimulation for a baby. Like, it's just not a fun time for them either. So, why put your baby through it? Why put everyone around the baby who's going to be listening to it crying and feeling bad for the baby instead of having fun and celebrating this wedding? I don't know. I don't think that this person's an asshole at all. I think that it's just I'm sorry then. You just have to sit it out if you're not comfortable leaving your baby at home and just be send your regards. I don't know. What do you guys think? I don't think she's an asshole. I think that you can totally have a child-free event. Well, baby-free event in this case. Let me know. Am I the a-hole for telling my sister-in-law that she didn't actually run a marathon? I've been a runner for a very long time. I absolutely love it. I want running to continue growing as a competitive activity and as a just-for-fun hobby. I encourage and support newcomers to running, but recently I encountered a situation where I felt gatekeeping was necessary. My sister-in-law got into running last year, and she absolutely fell in love with it as well. Since I'm also a runner, I decided I could connect with her on the topic. I wanted to hear about her runs, her progress, and maybe offer some helpful guidance if she wanted it. So at a family gathering, I asked her about running. After a bit of conversation, she mentioned to me that she ran a marathon. I was quite surprised that she ran a marathon after only just getting into running a year ago. That is amazing. What amazing dedication and drive, I thought to myself. I was about to praise her for this incredible accomplishment, but then she explained that this marathon in detail. It was a virtual marathon that she started late last year and apparently completed this year. Basically, it was an app-based event where you tally up your running distances until you reach 42.2 kilometers or 26.2 miles. I chuckled slightly and told her that it's great she totaled 42.2 kilometers in that time frame, but it doesn't count as a marathon. I told her that marathons have time limits for completion, usually 6 to 8 hours. If they didn't, then I could claim multiple ultra marathons via the aggregate distances I ran in my life. It's disingenuous and, in my opinion, undermines those who have actually ran a marathon. She didn't take this well. She called me an a-hole, a bully, an elitist, and a few other things. I apologize for upsetting her, but I stand by what I said. She didn't run a marathon. I didn't press the subject at all, and I left it at that. She wouldn't speak to me again for the rest of the gathering. My wife agrees with me despite not being a runner herself. She said her sister overreacted. Their mother said that I should have just let my sister-in-law believe that she ran a marathon. Maybe, I don't know. She's 23 years old, without any impairments. Validating her marathon would feel similar to lying to a child to boost their confidence. The difference is she is not a child. Am I the asshole? I personally don't think you're the asshole in this situation. I am not a runner, but I also feel that it's an incredible physical feat to run a marathon, as you said, in just consecutive hours. I absolutely cannot run past, further than maybe my front lawn of the apartment complex before I get winded. So, big props to you guys. What do you guys think? Comments down below, please. Is this person the asshole? I want to know. Am I the booty hole for not taking the whole day off for my sister-in-law's wedding because she didn't make me a part of it? My wife's sister is getting married on a Saturday this summer. I have a shaky relationship with her as she jokes about me during family events. Humor is one thing, but these always tend to be negative jokes about my character. Because of this, I have always thought that she doesn't like me. I was waiting for her to possibly ask me to play some role in the wedding since my wife is a maid of honor and our only son is a ring bearer. The couple did not ask me to play a role in any way. I asked what time I had to be at the wedding and I was told noon. I work a 12-hour noon shift on wedding day, so I decided to take 6 hours off so I could be there around noon, but still have to be up at 4 a.m. the next day for work. I found out from my wife that my sister-in-law and future brother-in-law are extremely upset and have been intentionally ignoring me since they found out. They told my wife they expected me to take the entire day off. I work 12 hours every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday because they think of me as a brother and assumed I would just want to be there for the rehearsal, morning of the wedding, dinner, wedding reception, all that jazz. Them not asking me to play a role, especially with my wife and our son having roles, confirmed for me that they don't like me. So I felt no obligation to take the morning off for the wedding. I work 12-hour shifts, and taking one day off really cuts into my available paid time off. So this is playing a big factor in my decision as well. I'm in no way upset for not having a role, and my decision was in no way retaliatory. It's not my wedding, so I don't make the calls. It doesn't bother me. My wife defended me and told my sister-in-law how they have always made me feel in this conversation when this all came up, but neither sister-in-law or future brother-in-law have tried to talk to me. Am I the booty hole? Edit. Our son will be with my mother the morning of the wedding, and I am bringing our son to the wedding, getting him into his tux, etc. My decision did not leave my wife responsible for our son and maid of honor duties. That would be horrible. Okay. Honestly, I don't think that you're an asshole. I mean, I'm not sure what they expect for you to do. I'm kind of confused by this one, not gonna lie, guys. Like, I'm sorry, but if you know that this person only works 3 days a week in their long ass shifts, like, then don't be surprised when they're not going to be able to take off like all that time for you, I guess. Especially like if you were like, oh, please come and be part of the bridal party or, the whatever party. And then sure, yeah, then you actually have a reason to be there. But like just to hang out with them, like, no, man has to make his money. What are you doing? Not the asshole, in my opinion. What do you guys think? Am I the butthole for fat shaming my friend? I, 25 female, am an amputee. Specifically, my right leg stops at my knee since 2021 in an accident. I have a group of friends I've known for a few years now, but one specific friend, let's call her Mia, female, 27. Mia is well over 300 plus pounds, and she's one of those body positivity plus size activist types of girls. She wears crop tops and stuff, and I have absolutely nothing wrong with that. She is free to do as she pleases, but this is where the story happens. Anytime we go out in a group, she milks me being an amputee for her own benefit. When we go to the club, there was parking. She starts loudly saying, "Drop me off at the door so she doesn't have to walk far. I'll get out with her too so she's not alone." She does this every time we go somewhere. I've let it be known I'm an adult and I'm fully capable of walking. It's clear she doesn't want to walk far and doesn't want eyes on her, so I'm the scapegoat as the disabled person. I've pulled her aside many times and let her know I do not like being babied, but I do appreciate the gesture. I thought that was the end of it until she kept doing it, despite my rejections. I do have a wheelchair from my early days of being an amputee. I keep it in my trunk just in case it's one of those days and I need it, which rarely happens. But one day we're out and Mia spots it and asks to use it because she's not feeling well. I am 130 pounds and 5'9". I knew that the wheelchair wasn't going to hold her, and she did too. But she insisted that she had used one similar and it fit her, and so I gave in. She broke it. I was pissed to say the least. Fast forward to last Saturday, we went to the amusement park. A bunch of girls, including me and Mia. I can't ride roller coasters, obviously. I'm aware it's a safety thing, so I'm okay with it. I didn't ride them even when I had both legs. So I sit on the bench and I hold stuff and eat my slushie. Just to clarify, my friends offered to not get on the ride, but again, I don't like being babied, and honestly, it's not the end of the world if I can't ride a roller coaster. I'll live. So Mia tries to get on and she can't fit. Roller coaster lines are long, and you can see onto the roller coaster sitting area if you're in line, so all eyes are on her. She was visibly embarrassed, and I felt really bad. She finally came over to where I was in the sitting area and started ranting about how it's unfair how they treat people with disabilities and how fat people are always treated so badly, and she needs to call and complain. I lost it. I got angry and told her she's not disabled, she's fat, and a simple solution to her disability is to work out and take care of herself and stop grouping me, an actual disabled person, into her mess. I said some other things too, but she ran off crying. Am I the asshole? Okay, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. You're kind of being an asshole. She's also being an asshole, though. You're both co-assholes, in my opinion. I have an invisible illness, an autoimmune condition, Crohn's disease, and technically I am disabled in the eyes of the government, but I hate being babied, so I understand where you're coming from with that, and I understand, like, that's really rude of her, like, as a friend, just not cool. Like, don't do that to your disabled friends. Don't use them as a ticket and pretend to do it out of care because it's selfish and it's transparent. Like, your frustration in that situation is completely valid. But also, I think that, I don't know, your tone kind of makes, well, the fact that you're on here right now makes me think that you're wondering if you did the right thing. I think that you could have had the conversation in a kinder way, obviously. But then again, we're all human, so I understand that we all blow up sometimes, especially when it's something that we feel deeply and passionately about. So both of you were being butts to each other. I think that you need to also understand that there's a lot of reasons for fatness. So it's not quite so easy as just working out and eating right for some people. For a lot of people, it's harder than that. So I think that you guys should probably sit down and have a conversation rather than invalidating each other. Try listening. What do you guys think? Am I the a-hole for introducing myself to my ex-husband's new girlfriend? My ex and I split in April. By May, he was bringing his new girlfriend to all of my 15-year-old son's baseball games. The families were gossiping about it, and my son was really uncomfortable with it. My 14-year-old daughter has told me she also hates having the new girlfriend around, and my ex wasn't respecting her request to slow down. After a few times seeing her, I walked up to her and introduced myself. This wasn't about her or my ex. It was to stop the gossip and show my kids that I'm okay with his relationship, and also to stop the gossip. Today, several weeks later, the ex emailed me that I violated his boundaries by doing this. Am I the asshole? Background. I asked for the divorce, and we have been broken up for a year, but he moved out in April. I have a boyfriend, and I am not jealous of the new girl. He is her monkey in circus now. Girl, you are not the asshole. Not at all. Nope, he's an asshole for failing as a father, because that's a failure as a father. I know that sounds harsh, but as a parent, you need to put your kids first. That's what you signed up for. They did not choose to be brought into this world. You chose to bring them into this world. So if they are telling you that something that you are doing is making them upset and uncomfortable, then you need to change that, because your child should be your priority, not this girl that you just started dating. Get your priorities straight. What do you guys think? If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching and joining me on episode 1 of Am I the Asshole? Playing Boomin. Seriously, thank you so much for watching. And if you like the video, please go ahead and give it a like. And if you want to see more content like this, please hit the subscribe. Have a great day. Bye.